1983 Suzuki GS 850G. Rear brake rebuild. So we're going to start by rebuilding this caliper. It's pretty easy. There's this plastic cap you can take off. Not really needed, but I did it just to look at it. So first things first, we're going to pop off these and loosen this guy. First things first you want to do is just break all these loose, and then we're going to go ahead and pull off this little cotter key back here, or cotter pin, however you guys pronounce it. Yay. There she is. And this should be a size 14 as well, I would think. Yep. All right. Now we can pull this castle nut off over here, which I think I might have to do with 2 hands. Yep. Now we get to loosen all this stuff here. We'll start by removing the lower brake line. And we got some brake fluid there. That could be a good sign. Hopefully indicating that we're getting brake to our caliper, but so we don't have to replace any brake lines, so that's always good news. Next we'll take off these 2 bolts. And our whole assembly should come apart ever so slightly. Not too bad. So here we are just looking at it from the inside. Everything, it's actually not in bad shape considering this thing was built in the 80s. So we're going to take this thing apart and we're going to try to crack these Allen keys off to take the whole unit apart. And of course I'm doing this one-handed, so I'll just do that. These are really hard to pop off. I had to put them on the vise, but that's to be expected. They did things differently back in Tokyo, I'm sure. All right, first glance, white powder, very interesting. Don't know what that's from. Ooh, this one looks nice. Right on. There's the cylinder, or the piston, I guess we should call it. Here are our brake pads. Let's see. Oh, and there's another piston right here. Right on. So we got 2 pistons here to work with. We got the brake pads. Our brake pads don't actually seem in bad shape. Usually the case with these things, you ride a lot, but you don't go through the brake pads that often. So we'll clean these up, set these off to the side. And now we got to see if we can work these pistons out. And we'll do it the same way with compressed air. So ironically, I was just cleaning it up first before doing this on camera. And this cylinder popped out really quick. But it is dirty in there. And even if these were in somewhat working condition, we should always replace these regardless. But this one, I'll do it on camera. Hopefully I can get it to pop. I had a little something going on there, some sort of sludge material. Let's see. Ew. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. This cap was on there though, in case anyone's wondering. But yeah, I'm just gonna squirt air from here and probably plug up a hole with my finger and see if I can get it to pop out. Ah, fuck. Let's see. I don't want to look at it, I'm scared. stuck on there pretty good. Let's see if I can't give her a twist. Oh, I know what she sees down there. Usually you can turn these a little bit. Okay. All right. Change of plans. Fire. Okay. Put it on high for a little bit. Let's see if we can't get this thing to... Oh, yeah, look, she turned it down.
A wise mechanic once said, "Come on, you motherfucker!" Ah, shit!
Yeah.
God damn it! Same shit! Same shit! Different day!
Not enough to hold. All right, we should be able to get it to pop out now. Hopefully y'all can see that. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Woo! Steaming. All right, so here's what we're looking at. We got some serious corrosion back here. Well, I say serious, but it's probably not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. We have some general corrosion back here, and this one too. Looks like the brakes would have worked. This brakes honestly probably could have worked if this one wasn't seized. You know, probably could have made it work, but look, we're gonna clean all this up with some good shit. Brake cleaner. I like the flammable stuff. This stuff isn't flammable. We're gonna just like, oh, easy. We're just gonna fill up these little pockets and let them soak overnight. Well, obviously you gotta plug. We're gonna plug this hole with the brake line hole plug bolt. That didn't work, you know, because of the holes and anyways, we'll just, I used one of those. Should be enough to slow this leak down. And then I don't know where you go to, somewhere in here. We're just gonna let that soak overnight, I think, you know, or a day, it doesn't matter. We'll come back, make sure this is closed, huh? Oh, no, that was leaking out. Dang it. Fuck. All right, we'll clean these off camera. All right, so clean the pistons. They're okay. I'll clean them again. I just kind of did a rough pass on it with the wire wheel. Nothing too crazy. Noticed a little bit of scoring on this one, which is weird. Might take some sandpaper to that, kind of smooth it out so we don't have any issues. Also, just want to say something. You don't have to wait till the next day. You can do it right now. Just a little wire brush. Go to town on it. But I'm going to just let it soak. Just because it's late and, you know, I don't have to scrub as much. So, yeah. See you tomorrow. All right, next day. Going ahead and cleaned up the inside of the calipers. We're all good to go. Blew out all the ports, you know, same old. We're rocking with this guy right here. Same from K&L. The rear brake kit comes with a bunch of stuff. Comes with the 2 piston seals right here. Let me put that where you can see it. 2 of the piston seals. The other piston seals. Got 2 of the bleeder caps. I don't know why they do that. I guess just throw an extra one. We don't need that one. And it's got that seal that goes here. Can you see that? I believe it goes there. Pretty sure. All right. So, anyways, we're gonna first things first. We're gonna just go ahead and dry fit these in here. See how they fit. I'm gonna try to show you this the best way I can because I had a weird camera angle going on. that. We'll do both of them first since we got our groove going. Easy peasy. Right? So next one are the pistons. Now this is what usually messes up a lot of people, or people have trouble doing it. You want to get this seal over the little indent right there, so it kind of like sits like that. And then at the same time, when you put this in here, you want this seal to kind of sit in there. So it's really hard to do. We're gonna just play with it as much as we can. We're gonna put some of that red grease in there. Make it a little soft and hopefully a little easier for us to do. Actually, we might be able to do this one pretty easy. Wonder if we can get it to fit over this big ring. There they are, both seated on there. Rubber went on there nicely. You pretty much have to like put it on the piston, and then you kind of like push the piston down and use your thumb to get it on the edge. So it wasn't too bad. So from here on, it's just pretty much reassembly. We're gonna put our little plug here, a little butt plug thingamajig, back on the bleeder, and we can reassemble everything as it was. So everything's put back together with new seals and everything. Allen bolts are tightened. The kit that it came with this little O-ring, I'm sure it would have been fine, but I just didn't like how much it was sticking out, so I just put the old one back in. It didn't look like it was in too bad a shape. It was smaller than this one, so I felt better about it sitting here. But now we can go and put this back into the bike. So reassembly is as simple as disassembly. We're just going to put the calipers back on. We're gonna tighten these bolts. We're gonna connect this little strut back to this guy right here, just like this. Everything's kind of set into place. So now, if you're riding this bike regularly and you're gonna change it, you're pretty much good to go. But if you don't know if you have a good brake line, you're gonna have to just wanna check it. So here we got our cover removed, and we can just press our brake pedal to see if any fluid's gonna come out through the brake line. Keep in mind, this is one of those diaphragms we replaced earlier in a previous video. And right now, I'm not seeing any fluid come through at all. So there's a good chance that this brake line, somewhere along the line, has just a bunch of crud built into it. Unfortunately, looks like I'm going to have to replace it, which is fine. I did end up, actually, for the people who are continuously watching this video or this channel, the front brake lines, I actually did end up replacing them with some new brake lines from Amazon. I couldn't really find any supplier that wasn't like extremely expensive, but I found these brake lines. What are they called? VR-wear, whatever. So far, not complaining. They're a little on the stiffer side, and they also come with these little like plastic grommet thingies. They're not too bad though. They're a little longer than the originals, but I think it looks fine. They're brake lines. So I'm probably gonna end up doing the same thing over here. Just gotta measure and see what size I need. But anyways, we'll stop here for now. We'll order some new brake lines, and hopefully we have brakes going down the road. But that's pretty much the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Peace.
Wise